We just got a lot of new information for Pokemon Champions from the Presents. And honestly, this game is cooking for competitive battling and looks amazing. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So starting off with the UI, it's actually I love this design for this UI. I think it's actually very useful for knowing a lot of information very easily. Like you can see below, we have 3 Pokemon out of 6. You can see the Pokeballs. You always get to see your Pokemon's HP. That's normal. But what's not normal is the HP percentage for the Pokemon you are going against. That is actually very interesting to have added. This lets you know, hey, maybe Flamethrower does 50%. You know it does 50%. And you know for a fact that their HP is sitting at 100. So you're going to do half damage. Now, that could be a lot more interesting whenever you do break it down individually, because then you aren't just guessing how much HP is out. Because if you know IVs and EV spreads and you know how much damage you do, you can see how much the bar moves to the percentage. So now you actually know what the investments are for your enemy Pokemon for its defense, special defense, or HP investments. So you actually know what's going on. And you might be able to figure out if it has Assault Vest alone with just that as well. So that's going to be a nice change. But then the timers actually changed as well. We do have 10 minutes, which is actually not that bad. It looks like you get more time per player. So you can actually do more damage and not have to get timed failed, essentially. So stall teams might be a little bit harder to run since you actually have to stall a lot longer than you typically would. And then obviously the Pokemon and the battle buttons are there, which are really nice. But then looking at the moves, it kind of brings back that Legends Arceus style where it lets you know that it has no effect. It's super effective, not very effective, but there is a catch. There's actually a level above that. So it looks like Icy Wind is super effective against Hydreigon because it is a dark flying type. So ice is effective against ice types. But Moonblast is effective against dark types. So it looks like it gives you extremely effective. That gives you a star, as if it's going to do more damage than a simple super effective. In Legends Arceus, we only had no effect, not very effective, and super effective. Now it looks like there's a step above that. So if you're a new player and you don't know type matchups, or if you don't know exactly which move is going to be doing more damage, because if both of those in Legends Arceus would have said super effective, you could have clicked either one of those to get a result that you thought was the best outcome. Because you could have clicked Icy Wind and it would be effective, but Moonblast would do more damage since it is extremely effective. So this is actually a way better way to help people introduce here, you know, the typing chart, letting you know how much damage you're doing. And then you get to see the HP fall to a certain percentage. And then you get to go from there because it does just keep updated the entire time. Like this Gardevoir uses the Moonblast. It was a one shot. So you got to see it drop through every single percentage down to 0. And if you know your spreads, you know your damage calcs, well, you know exactly how much damage you hit for, even though you went ahead and went to 0. Now that's some of the UI changes. Very nice to battles. Like I love this layout for the battles. Not even going to talk about the arena because the arena is amazing. But let's go ahead and jump into how the training has changed. Because honestly, the training is insanely simplified. So training points, these are your EVs. Now let's go ahead and wait a second here, because typically if you look at this, it's 32. It says there's 32. Typically we go for a 252, a 252, and a 4 spread, because unless you're doing some more competitive play, you would be going a lot more detailed, because the first 2 points into something will change it by 1, and then 4 will give you more. So there's a lot of more detailed things we could go about this. But right now, we're just going to break it down to very simple. 252 gives you 32 point increase to a stat. This breaks it down to that. There's no longer a 252. 32 points is the equivalent of a 252. Now, if you look here, we go from 252, which is 32, and 32, which is another 252 for that special attack. If we do look here, I'll move the camera. We do have that 252 in special attack, and we have the 252 in speed. So we're a big physical or a big special attacker along with very fast. So we want to go first. But if you look here, there's 2 in special defense. So that used to be 4 now, and that would give you one boost. So not 2 points. 2 points, you would have to end up using, I believe it's 12. So because it's 8 for the second one. So what that means is you could get a +2 into something and then change it. And what I mean by that is if we go ahead and jump over to Showdown, I can kind of show it a little bit also. So if we end up taking a look here at this Abomasnow, we have 252. We go from a 165 plus 32 points like we just did. That puts you at a 197. Now, normally we'd be able to just sit here and go, this is a bad spread, but we go 252, 252, and then we can only go 4. Now, if you noticed, we went from 112 plus 4, that gives us 113. If we go here and we go 4, that gives us what? 166. So we go 166. But if we go 12, we go 167. So we actually get another point here, which is what happened or is happening in Pokemon Champions. So that's actually letting us go up a whole nother point. So that could actually be changing a lot because you could go a 2 in, say, special defense, but then you want to go ahead and put, or you could put 2 in your HP and then some more in special defense. However you want to do it, it could actually make some changes to where you actually can survive some crucial hits, making it a lot harder to know what is going on or what investments you have. And then we can obviously see we have a modest mint here, low attack, high special attack, but that is very nice. And we can see that it's going to cost 64 VP. So victory points, we have a 4,000 up here, but this is going to be amazing. And we can actually see how we can spend our victory points and how much it actually costs to fully upgrade a Pokemon, which is nice as well. And we get to see every single move they have. They have the move screens, lets you know what's going on, how much it is, because down here at the bottom, we have the 100 VP. So it costs 100 VP points to actually get a move. And it was 64 for one stat to be fully upgraded into 32 points. So one move and a one fully maxed out stat is going to be 164 VP, which we don't know how many we're going to get from battling, but we do know we have to get them from battling. And then on this screen, we can actually see the moves we have. The move we're changing that psychic. That's going to be a 100. And then we do have the special attack increased to 32. Speed is the one that we're investing now. So that's 64 points. We have the ability and the modest for the mint. Now we do have the commence training. That's going to cost us 164. And we can honestly see all the mints as well. Each mint, it does look like it's going to be 200 VP, 200 victory points. What's nice is this does break it down very, very easily. We can actually see there's a dot on the modest that lets us know we have the modest active right now. So that is our current mint, which for Gardevoir, that's exactly what you would want since you do have it. And it does say it up top as well, letting you know that you do have the modest mint. So from the last screen, we noticed that Trace was not its ability. It actually changed the ability as well. They went through and changed it. So it looks like it's going to be 200 VP, 200 victory points per mint, 100 victory points per move, 64 victory points to max out a stat, and 400 victory points for an ability. That's actually kind of nice because some abilities are better than others and hidden abilities are kind of harder to get. So that's nice. But the whole training cost is going to be 764 victory points out of our 4,000. And, you know, you go through commence training, shows you how many you have on the left side. After the spending, you're going to be left with 3,236. So does all the math very quickly, lets you know how much you're still going to have. And honestly, with this, you could fully upgrade another Pokemon or fully set up another Pokemon, which is nice. So that is something that's going to be able to watch out for, because they do have Pokemon that you can train or bring over. They did show this screen here where it's actually like, this is like Pokemon Stadium, I feel, because honestly, all these Pokemon you can pick from. Now, we do have 5,000 victory points up there in the corner. You have all these Pokemon you can train up. They did select the Gardevoir at the beginning, letting us go through and set it up. But we did go ahead and have all these guys here. Look, we have Hydrapple, which is brand new from Paldea. We have Sneasler from Legends ZA. We have Como. We have all these Pokemon from different regions. I guarantee or hope that this is going to be having every single Pokemon. It kind of has to, right? Have every single Pokemon that is available within the Pokemon franchise to use. Obviously, some are not PvP viable, but we do get to go see through here that you can do a trial recruitment. So this is a 7-day period, 0 VP. So I don't know. What I'm interested to see about that is if we are trying this Pokemon out, if it's 0 cost to try it, are we actually spending the investment points or the VP points to actually give it its spread, give it its moves, mint, nature, all that, like everything, because a permanent unlock is 1,000. That means we can use it no matter what and just always have it available, because these are Pokemon that are in the game that we're able to essentially recruit or rent if we're not bringing stuff over from main series games that we could be using as well. So that's a nice little thing here where you could do trials if you want to test the Pokemon out. We got to see what it takes to invest it, but that's pretty nice having a Pokemon you could just try if you're brand new to the game. This looks like the Pokebox system, or essentially the box system, which I kind of like it. It looks pretty good because it has the full breakdown over on the side. Moves, ability, you have our investments here. I'm pretty sure this attack you would want lower. I think this is a perfect attack. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. But that's a perfect attack, like a bottle cap. But there's all these Pokemon here in the box that you could be using. We saw them in the trailer, so they obviously put them in here. But what I like is the held items up top. The held items could be a way they're using Gigantamax, because we still don't have that. It looks like this infinity sign is we've permanently unlocked this Pokemon. But the held items is where you could do your Gigantamax, your Gmax, your Megas, your Z moves, where you're giving the held items. So that's pretty nice. We can train Pokemon from the box, which is nice. And then I think probably the best thing, I don't know how well it's gonna work, but the best thing is this down here. We have an auto team build. The auto team build down at the bottom, I think, is going to be a highly underused thing, because if you don't know anything about competitive Pokemon, you could click that button, and depending on how accurate and well it is, it could generate you a team. You may not know how to use it, but it could generate you a team to help you get started and understand some stuff. Hopefully that isn't just going to pick you some Pokemon. Hopefully it gives you moves and spreads as well. So we're going to have to see how this auto team build works. Maybe it's just going to give you the Pokemon. Maybe it's going to give you a full on spreaded out moved built team that you could use. But that is going to be a nice button. I think that's going to be overlooked very quickly, but they did say we're going to be able to go and play online. You got ranked battles, competitive play. VGC might be going to this. You do have singles battle and friendly battles, so you do doubles and singles. It's pretty fleshed out. It has to be pretty fleshed out to be running at this level already. It's looking to be a very good game, changing or revamping completely the spreads, the moves, the Pokemon competitive as a whole. So I'm really excited to see how this actually runs, and if it's actually going to be useful, or like competitive play is going to be moved over to this game. Because let me tell you, it has simplified, or it will have simplified competitive Pokemon completely. in a whole new way. It is going to be coming 2026. I think this is going to be more of a February release, most likely, and it's going to have to hopefully release with all the Pokemon Legends ZA Pokemon. Since we do have new megas coming, having those new megas in this game is going to be a must, and it is going to be for Switch, iOS, and Android. So mobile systems as well as your Switch system. It's going to be a Switch 2. Guarantee it's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. But nonetheless, it's going to have everything and possibly be crossplay. But the best thing about it, like I said, is going to be the play to play. Like you physically actually, you have to play the game. You can't just outright buy buy VP. You can't just buy the victory points. You actually have to play, sink the time in, play it, and then you actually get some rewards for it, which makes it honestly amazing because everything nowadays feels like it's pay to play and not play to play. So it's going to be a nice touch. What do you think about Pokemon Champions and moving forward if you're going to play it? Or do you think it's actually going to be changing the game of competitive completely? Because you could probably just move some Pokemon in, train them up, take them back out, and use them in Tera Raids. So it makes raiding or Tera Raids PvE stuff a lot easier as well. Let me know down below what you think of that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.